Hello everyone and welcome to our final E3 discussion video here at In-Game Content. I am Main and of course I am with Star and Chomp.
Sup?
What's up, everybody?
So, we're just here. It's going to be wrapping up all the stuff that was kind of been revealed after the press conferences, as well as giving our overall views on the whole situation that was going on the last couple days, and go over top 5 favorite things for E3 for each of us this year. The big news that we got to hear after the press conferences basically concerns two Nintendo things because they had little developer roundtables in the evenings. The first one was on Smash Brothers, and the big thing for that was revealing Pac-Man as a playable character. But they also talked about some customization options where each of the characters' special moves with the B button, you can have 3 different ones for all the 4 slots. So you basically have 12 moves to choose from, and you get to pick which one. And most of them, I think the example they gave was Mario's Fireball. Like there'd be one that's like faster but not as strong or something. So they're like slight variations. But then they specifically mentioned Palutena as having like 12 completely different moves. So I'm not sure how this relates to online, if you can do this for online also. Because like for Mario, it wouldn't make sense to do it online, but Palutena it kind of does. So
I believe that on online you're allowed to use the customization features on the For Fun mode, where you have to use their base movesets in the For Glory mode.
Okay.
And you also can't use Mii characters on any online mode except with your friends.
Right. And then they also mentioned there were like items you could equip or something on your characters, like up to 3, which kind of like tweaked their stats a bit.
You get those through Smash Run.
Yeah. Well, no. It's like you can actually equip it. Like it's not like
Yeah, but you get the items through Smash.
Okay. So one would be like, you know, you're a bit faster, but you're like a little bit easier to knock around or something. So, and I'm pretty sure those you can't use online. Definitely for Glory, and I'm pretty sure maybe not at all. So there's that. Was there anything else they revealed really in the developer roundtable that was really important? Just went over some Smash Run stuff a little bit more, but basically know all about that. So, but anyway, I don't know, thoughts of all that stuff that they talked about.
I don't think there's been any direct confirmation that these customization elements will be available on the 3DS version. We've seen all of them on the Wii U version, so I'm wondering if the case is going to be we're only getting these elements in the Wii U version, which would be kind of lame, in my opinion. It would differentiate them, but it would be lame.
What would be the point of getting the upgrade items on the 3DS version if you couldn't use them?
Well, yeah, no, it's from Smash Run, so at least the equipable items are.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the equivalent items. I mean, I saw that they were giving out Yoshi Egg Roll 2 or whatever. Is that just an item, or is that like a customization option for Yoshi that you have to unlock? Do you have to unlock these?
I don't think we know at this point. So, yeah. I don't know. Anyone thoughts on Pac-Man and his character?
He sucks.
Obviously the best character in the game.
Should have got Isaac or Skeptile.
For me, like, honestly, I was pretty certain he was going to be in the game anyway, so it made sense considering who was developing it, so, you know. Okay, at least they gave him a moveset, which is, like, somewhat interesting with all the 8-bit stuff, so.
I would rather have somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, you know, whatever. He's not the character who it's like, oh, we put in Pac-Man, and therefore we didn't put in someone else. It's like, that's not...
That's never the case.
Especially for third-party stuff, so...
For Namco, I would have rather had either Lloyd Irving or some protagonist from the Tales of series.
But they
or
wouldn't have.
Klonoa.
It's Pac-Man's just way too. Come on. It's Pac-Man, you know.
It's a fighting game.
But it's fucking Pac-Man. You know what I mean?
It's a
like
fighting game.
That's what they're going to put if it's the Namco person, so...
They could have put Hihachi or Devil Jin.
Who knows?
Devil Jin for Smash.
Come on, like, they're going to put in the iconic person. They're not going to put in...
Hihachi is the face of Tekken.
I've never heard of Hihachi. That just proves to you it was not be chosen. So there you go.
Well, you're a loser. He was in freaking Soul Calibur and PS2.
Even I've heard of Heihachi.
Well, whatever. So...
Dumbass.
Doesn't matter. The point is that it was all for, you know, it's like... Shut the fuck up. It's all for, like, you know, why they would choose, like, Sonic over, like, Knuckles or something, who would arguably be better in a fighting game. It's the same reason.
Well, they both suck. So...
Well, you just hate everything that's not fucking Mortal Kombat, so shut up.
Scorpion for Smash.
Oh my god.
Hey, well, now that Mii's are characters, and there's pretty much
exactly.
exact Mii replica of Scorpion around there, so
Yeah,
you could have Scorpion in Smash now.
But it
You'd
won't be
have-
the same.
you could have Hitler in Smash.
It looks almost the same,
But
the way that they
moves
did
won't
the
be the
Scorpion
same.
Mii.
I won't have spears and fire. It's not gonna be as cool.
Maybe
Oh,
fire is
shit.
one of the options, but I'm not sure.
I can't make anybody get over here. What's the point?
You could have his grab
That should be
like
one of the
claw
Mii
shot.
grabs.
Yeah, the grab
one
would
of
be like
the
the claw
grabs.
shot. But
Then I'm gonna have to say get over here myself, which I probably do anyway. But
It would be amazing if this game had like Mii voice bites that you could use.
well, then again, considering the shitty Mii voices in the Mario Kart games, you know.
But like the way they did it in Photo Dojo or something.
Oh, I don't
It
know.
was just really hilarious, and it was actually you voicing the characters.
Oh. They wouldn't do that though because whole online.
They wouldn't, but it'd be amazing.
Yeah. The other thing what doing with Smash that they showed was, of course, the Smash tournament, which was a boatload of fun.
Hungry Box should have won.
Yeah.
Essence
saying.
hits always win.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I'm gonna say this right now.
That's why
Zero
Marth
Suit
always
Samus
wins, am I
is
right?
Overpowered, and I also think Little Mac is a bit overpowered. But Zero Suit Samus by far is overpowered. Like, holy shit, that's by far the best Final Smash in the game. Besides maybe Sonic, but I'm sure they nerfed that.
Barring that final Smash, which was like Snakes, but
Really,
even worse.
Oh, I still haven't seen it.
it's
It's
basically
Samus gets into her ship and starts blasting everyone with lasers.
it's like
Oh.
Snakes,
And you can aim at people, and it's like Snakes, but it happens much faster.
and like one shot will like KO you.
Yeah.
It's
Does it zoom in on her butt while she's using it?
no.
Boo.
It's still overpowered as fuck, and she's fast, has great range, has like some projectile stuff, has like spammable. I think down smash and side B are super spammable. It's like ridiculous. So
And in
Well,
terms
you know
of
what you
this-
can do to counter
nerf,
that?
please.
Get good.
No, fuck that.
And in
Use
that
Marth.
tournament, it was a very bad matchup for Hungry Box. Kirby couldn't really do much against Zero Suit Samus' side B.
Well,
Yeah,
he still
Just
almost
the
won.
ultimate
If-
spacing tool.
No, I know he almost won, but that's because he was a better player and he was playing.
Yeah, he's Hungry Box. He's one
Like-
of the top 5 Smash players ever.
I'd beat him.
We're not
Right.
talking about this. I do have to say though, I would have loved it if Kirby won, because isn't Kirby like shit tier? I think. I don't know.
I don't
Yeah.
remember.
I know people shit on Kirby all the time, so
He might be buffed in this game, and we just don't know.
yeah. Please, Kirby top tier. Want it to happen.
Hungry Box seemed to use him well, and Hungry Box is a Jigglypuff player, but Jigglypuff has
That's because
Slightly higher-
top tier.
Well, Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff has like higher aerial mobility,
Yeah.
but maybe Kirby got some better aerial mobility, and that's why he was pretty good at using him.
I don't know. I do have to say though, two things about the tournament. The best thing about the tournament was Reggie saying he was going to kick his ass at the end. That was really amazing. But then the worst thing, of course, was that little shithead Jeff, who I hate because he's a piece of shit. And why was he there? But whatever.
Well, I hate Reggie. You didn't hear me crying.
Well, okay, fucking Jeff called it fucking like what was it? Pickman and Oliver.
Pickman and
Like,
Oliver.
what the fuck is up with that? That's so dumb. Come on, God.
He's dumb. So
He's got a bunch of Pikachus in the background.
I know, God, what a dick. Whatever, okay. Stop talking about him, it's not worth it. The other evening thing that they showed off was, of course, this mystery 3DS game. And it's apparently something that wasn't expected at all, but
XCOM.
whatever. It's called Codename Steam. Did either of you actually, like, see the Treehouse footage of it? Because I missed it.
I saw
Yeah.
some.
So you want to
XCOM.
explain how the game works?
it's
XCOM.
XCOM with Nintendo.
I don't know what XCOM is.
It's that game I was talking about that I had played, like back
Oh,
when
that
we were
one.
talking, back when we were talking about a third-person shooter with RPG elements. I was talking about this strategy RPG that looked like a 3D shooter and how it works, and this works basically like that.
It's set like in a steampunk alternate reality, and I know they showed the level in London or whatever. I think that was what it was, but apparently you can go to multiple locations. So, and there's like aliens
Yeah.
fighting, and apparently one's like a Cthulhu monster. So,
Apparently, the story is Abraham Lincoln is gathering a bunch of people to defeat the alien menace, and Steam, I think, means strike team to eliminate the alien menace?
Yeah,
That
That was
sounds
it.
right. Yeah. I mean, it looks interesting for sure. I mean, I didn't expect this from a first-party Nintendo title. Well, it's not first-party, but whatever. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I mean, I just don't. I'm personally not into that kind of game. So
If there's a demo, hopefully that'll be good and that'll sway some people. Because I like the XCOM games; they're pretty fun. But the difference between XCOM and this game is XCOM is extremely customizable.
Mm.
You can like make your friends and have them play.
I mean, there was couple characters they showed off. I have a feeling they won't have you make your own character, but I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
there's a ton of characters you can choose from. I don't know.
So in order to balance it out, this story would have to be pretty stellar.
Those are the two things that they really had, developer roundtables in the evening, and then of course there's a Smash tournament. So that's basically all the main stuff that they showed separately. But then online, Pokemon info was released through a couple of YouTube videos. They announced Mega Sableye, and he's still Dark Ghost, but we don't know what its ability is. We don't know its stats or anything, though they gave a description saying the giant gem it has is nearly impenetrable or something. So likely it'll have boosted defenses.
We're assuming very high defenses.
Yeah, or
Either that or an ability that's really defensive.
yeah, I think Podgy suggested it would be a special version of Fur Coat, maybe, which I could see, maybe. The only thing, though, is that they really needed to give a really good ability, otherwise Prankster's just better.
Well, if it just has boosted stats and Prankster.
Well, then it will be amazingly painful to fight because
Yeah.
they'll have. Because the main thing one thing that makes Sableye manageable is that it's has pretty bad stats. So
But once you get rid of that, it's
yeah, its defenses
awful to fight.
suck. So yeah, if it has Mega Sableye and it's 100 in defenses, then it's well, this sucks.
Good game.
Yeah. So that's pretty terrible to fight. But anyway, besides a bunch of smaller stuff with screenshots, which we'll be talking about Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire later.
Yeah, we are Pokemon fans, folks. So
I'm just gonna mention a few things. That's some bigger news, I guess you could say. Primeval Groudon was confirmed to be grounded fire, while Primeval Kyogre is still pure water. So that's
is it confirmed that Primo Kyogre is pure water, or did they just not reveal the type
no,
yet?
it was confirmed that it's pure water. So
Oh, well,
'cause somebody
personally,
had
I'm
the
fine with
horrible
that.
suggestion that it would be water electric.
no, please
Yeah.
don't.
That'd be
Mega
Beyond
Lantern
horrible.
confirmed.
Yeah, that would be beyond horrible. So ground fire, I mean, of course, it's more weak to water, but it's resistant to rock and some other stuff now. So ground fire overall is a pretty damn good type. So I don't know, makes sense considering what Groudon is and what its moves are. But anyway, one last thing I'd like to bring up is that in the trailer that was shown for this, they show a brief image of Maxie and Archie, and if you look carefully enough, you can see that they have Mega Evolution symbols on them. So, of course, the big speculation is that there's going to be a Mega Camerupt and a Mega Sharpedo. Thoughts
Mega
on
Sharpedo just needs to happen.
Yes, it does.
Period.
Mega Camerupt is just small Primeval Groudon.
Yeah, well,
basically.
someone suggested to give it, since it's a camel or whatever, that's part of its design, it's cow-camel hybrid, that you give it, Water Absorb, or, maybe even Storm Drain.
Wow.
So, I mean, maybe, but that kind of seems too convenient. Kind of like the whole Mega Swampert with Sapsipper, and it doesn't really make that much sense, so I don't know.
The plot twist-to-wee Mega Camerupt is way better than Primeval Groudon.
I don't even know how that would be possible, honestly. Give it 100 in both defenses, and then lower its
Water
attack.
Absorb.
Lower its attack. No, again, give it a special version of Huge Power. But, yeah, Mega Sharpedo, they basically need to keep speed boost, otherwise I don't really know what they could do. I mean, someone was saying Strong Jaw, but it doesn't really. It's just Crunch and Ice Fang, and that's
New
it.
water version
Yeah.
of Gale Wings.
Please, that would be amazing. But
Priority waterfall.
Swift
Please happen.
Swim, but not Swift Swim.
oh, and then of course, there's the whole Steven Stone looking for Mega Stone, so therefore Mega Metagross, please.
Yes.
I mean, they could just be lazy and use Mega Aggron.
But that was lazy and suck, and Metagross
Yeah.
needs Mega because he's awesome.
Hopefully, he doesn't really have Mega Charizard X. I think that image was just there to show a Mega.
Maybe.
I don't think
It
it's
wouldn't make
Steven's
sense.
Pokemon.
Yeah, it doesn't. Unless they totally revamped his roster to be multi-type, but I don't think they would do that.
No.
So,
Don't change his Pokemon. His Pokemon are perfect. In fact, I would even be okay with a Mega Cradily.
Mega.
Well, that would be
Armaldo.
terrible, honestly.
Actually, I really want a Mega Cradily now. And a Mega Armaldo.
I don't know. For Mega Metagross, like, it just needs to be better. I don't know what to say about it. Just make it better.
Remove its Psychic typing, just like Aggron, I guess.
I guess, but that seems like too lazy. That's like too similar. I don't know. It just needs to have
The problem was that Steel lost its resistance to Ghost, right?
And
Yeah, so Metagross
Yeah.
just got way nerfed by that.
Yeah.
honestly though, just give it Shift Gear, please. That would.
So you want a Psychic Genesect.
Hey,
Yeah.
why the frick do you give a bug Shift Gear instead of a thing that's literally a machine?
Well, he's a
Because
prehistoric
it's a
metallic
robot plug.
but I
bug
don't
from the
care.
past.
Literally, Metagross is like the second thing I would give that move to besides Klinklang, and freaking Genesect got it when it didn't need it at all. So, yeah, give it Shift Gear, and then I'll be happy. Even if it doesn't give it a Mega, if you give it Shift Gear, I'll be happy. So, whatever. But anyway, they showed off some other stuff with Figure of Sapphire, a bunch of screenshots. They showed us the map of Hoenn, but we'll go into that later in another video. So, moving on. Next, Chomp,
Next,
talk
we
about
have
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Xenoblade Chronicles X, and while I'd love to do an extremely long discussion of this, I'm not going to. What I'm seeing with the news from the Treehouse is pretty good. There's some controversy about the customizable character because in all of the past Xeno games, the characters have been fully fleshed and have emotions. They aren't just you and silent.
Yeah,
So-
that's one problem, I guess you could say, with customizable characters.
But I, for one, really like it. I finally get to be in a Xeno game. Yes.
You feel
And-
special now.
Yeah. I guess the fan name for this is going to be Shulk Jr. But also in the Treehouse, they revealed some neat things for Xeno fans. If you weren't a fan of in Xenoblade higher level monsters, they'd make you miss really often. And that would kind of be what detracts you from fighting the stronger monsters, and instead you'd have to resort to like exploits. But in this one, it seems like you can actually hit them. Of course, you get killed because it does 70,000 damage.
Yeah,
But-
I think I saw that. Yeah, I mean, it's
But-
so if you really
still-
want to, you can go ahead, but you're gonna die. So
Yeah. They didn't show off any of the gear, dolls, in this game. I say gears because they bear a striking resemblance to the gears in Xenogears.
Mm.
I'm hoping we're gonna have more robot kung fu action like in that game. That was amazing.
well, because they didn't really show any mech stuff off, did they?
No, they didn't, except like when you entered the city, I think they showed one.
Yeah, because I remember like when they first way back whenever when like the Wii U was first revealed, they had a
A
10-second
bunch of
trailer.
dolls, yeah.
Like a 10-second trailer of this, and that was like it was mech, like that was what it was. So it's kind of interesting they're not showing it at all right now.
Yeah. And it would have been a really good thing to show during that demo, but what they were thinking. I am not Monolith Soft. If I had to talk about anything else for Xenoblade is there's a lot of conflicting things that are being said. They're saying that there's absolutely no healing in this game, except like with the soul voice, which is basically like encouraging your teammates in Xenoblade. Well, not encouraging. Sometimes there's just a B prompt that happens, and if you time it right, you get a boost and affinity boosts and whatever. They're saying that that's the only way to heal in this game. Somehow I doubt that because there's a class system, which is another thing I'm really excited for. I'd
So
imagine
there's almost always a healer.
I'd imagine there'd be some kind of class that's like heal guns and
Yeah.
using heal bullets, and maybe just another healing thing like light heal from Xenoblade. I doubt that they're taking it out completely. But if they do, it's still interesting because it means there's a lot more focus on positioning, which is
Yeah.
another thing confirmed in this game. Depending on what position you attack the enemy, there are different effects, I believe. So that maybe more of a focus is on where you are. Another cool thing is that you can switch from melee to ranged in battle, so that's really neat. At the beginning, you're pretty much a jack of all trades.
You get to kind of choose like which part of that you increase or whatever.
I think when you use melee, your melee experience goes up or something.
Okay, yeah.
When you use guns, your gun experience goes up. That would make sense. I'm not going to talk about it anymore as much as I'd like to, but perhaps stay tuned for a video in the future.
A little bit more gameplay for the Order 1886 was shown, and the developer basically confirmed that the monster that was in the teaser they showed during the press conference was actually a werewolf. Maine said it wasn't. I was right, and he was wrong.
Well, excuse me. Jesus.
I just want
Get your terminology right.
Oh, it's a lichen. I'm sorry.
Ha! You weren't right.
It's the same freaking thing.
No.
You said it was
there
some
is a
kind of
difference. The difference is
Resident
lichens are
Evil
naked.
zombie.
All I know is that it looked like Resident Evil, and I was confused. So explain why it looked like Resident Evil and why I shouldn't be confused.
Yeah.
Well,
Do that.
Well, I don't know why you thought it looked like Resident Evil. That's not.
I think it looks like Resident Evil too.
Ha!
Oh, well, it was
Like,
dark and it wasn't a full-fledged lichen. It was like undergoing transformations. Yeah, it was just kind of in transition, so it kind of looked like something weird you would see in Resident Evil.
It looked like very brown Resident Evil.
But he basically explained the setting, an alternate history version of London, how the Order is actually the Knights of the Round Table, and
Somehow they're alive in 1886?
Yeah.
yeah, but they're
The
this
plot twist
elite
is it's
force.
not set in 1886, maybe.
It's 1586! They just fudged the keyboard.
Yeah,
Or like
It's too
half
late
of the
to do.
game is in there, and then 300 years later, and everything looks futuristic.
so they're this elite force that's the only thing protecting the world from basically the lichens and the other beasts. He confirmed that there would be other types of monsters. He didn't say what, because spoilers. But he confirmed that they were there, and there would be half-breeds of lichens and other whatever else is there.
Probably other...
Oh my goodness, this is Vampire the Masquerade, isn't it?
Well, I mean, they're probably going to do other, mythological monster stuff like werewolves, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
They showed a little bit of the combat. He explained how, I forget the word he used, but basically the regular weapons oxygenate the air, and then you set off the flare that makes all the thermite stuff work.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's one of the weapons because it's all, alternate history, steampunk almost kind of
Well.
weapons. So, trying to explain how they work.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're describing a weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, then that makes
Yeah.
more sense. I thought that was like the only way to kill monsters is to do this weird thing where you make
No, 'cause
more air
they're-
and then you set it on fire.
They're bullets, but like you can basically trace the bullets with what they call thermite, and it basically sets stuff on fire and causes explosions.
Yeah, I can imagine what you're saying now.
Yeah. Other than that, they confirmed the release date would be February 20th, 2015. I think that's a pretty good time to release, since most of the big stuff that comes out first quarter usually comes out in March.
Yeah.
Still a lot of games coming out in 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole E3 kind of did seem like
2015.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
late 2014 for those
2015,
things that we
not
talked
counting
about
Smash.
2014, all the things we talked about 2 E3s ago.
Yeah. 2014.
Xenoblade, because this is Monolith Soft.
Yeah, 2014 is basically like Smash, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, Beta 2.
And Bayonetta
Like-
1.
Isn't Destiny
not
coming
count.
out? Is Destiny coming out in 2014?
Yeah, it comes out September
Talk
9th.
about it later.
So
We
there we
could
go.
go away.
Segue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The developer did an interview just like the developer Order 1886 did. He showed a little bit of gameplay, but one of the people I'm subscribed to on YouTube has the alpha, so I'm going to be watching him play the game some more. Basically, the developer just explained the story. Humanity is fallen, and you're basically trying to figure out what happened. So you're on Earth. Everything's rusted and decayed. There are aliens there for some reason that you find out later. After actually watching gameplay as it happened, it's basically Borderlands with pretty graphics, and that's a pretty damn good thing to be.
Fair enough.
I expected as much, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, and there was a lot of customization for making your character. I think there were 3 races, male and female. You could choose different colors for skin and hair and whatnot, and there were 3 different classes for you to play as. So
A lot of games with customization I'm seeing shown off this E3.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think he said the beta will be coming out July 17th. So a lot
Something
of
like
people
that.
should be able to get into that and try out the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Halo collection coming out later this year. The developer basically showed off how the playlist works. So with the playlist, you can use it for single player and multiplayer. So like, if you wanted to play the Warthog missions from all the Halo games, it would put all the missions in one playlist. And you would play them one after another.
So you just go automatically from like Halo 1 to Halo 2, Halo 3 with those missions?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it basically works the same for multiplayer. So you can choose the maps for like in order. It could be from 1 to 4 to 2 or whatever, and then we go to each game's different multiplayer setup. They also showed off the Halo 2 Anniversary Edition and compared it to the Anniversary Edition of the first one. So in the first one, when you change the graphics between the original and HD, the screen would kind of fade out to black, then fade back in.
Mm-hmm.
But now they made the change instantaneous. So like if you click it, it'll go straight to crappy old graphics and shiny new graphics.
Yay.
Load times don't exist.
Right.
They probably just like load, both
Yeah.
graphics
Before
skins.
the game starts. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was looking really good. Then they talked about some of the Halo 5 beta. That was pretty much it.
Well, so that's kind of just some stuff wrapping up for things that were revealed. Of course, we could go through gameplay of every single game that was at E3, but that would take forever, and we don't want to do that. But we will be going over Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire for sure, and we also, Chomp said we might go over Xenoblade, and I think we might also be going over Smash, but I'm not sure, so
Might.
maybe.
Obviously.
But anyway, so I just want to talk about kind of the overall what we thought of E3 this year, and then I want each of us to give like the top 5 best things of E3 in our opinions. So I'll start. So for me, I like this E3 quite a bit. I wouldn't say it was perfect, of course, but they showed off. All companies showed off quite a lot of stuff, and it was all fairly interesting. Even Microsoft stuff, which I don't really care about, had some interesting things in there. They made Call of Duty not completely boring to me, so there we go. In terms of presentations, if I was going to give them, A, B, C ranks, Microsoft C+, Sony B-, Nintendo A-. But besides that, I just thought it was pretty good. The whole Nintendo Treehouse thing, showing off, the games in depth. It kind of dragged on a bit, but I mean, they had basically, 48 hours to fill. Well, no, more than that, 3 days to fill. So it's a lot. But I really like how they did that, so it really shows, all the games they showed in great detail. So that was nice. But anyway, my 5 favorite things at E3, let's see. Number 5 for me is Zelda for Wii U. And it's number 5 just because they showed us so little, but just like the concept of open world Zelda opens up like so much, and I'm just like, oh my god, there could be so much of this could be amazing. So, and I'm not even a huge Zelda fan, so having that, I'm probably more excited for this Zelda game than any other one, so that's saying a fair amount. Number 4 for me would be the trailer for Batman Arkham Knight. It looked really beautiful, and the gameplay, of course, looked great, same as has been before. And then, of course, the whole game glitching up and having Scarecrow show up was amazing, so that was really well done. Number 3 for me is Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire stuff, because it's Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. It's amazing. Direct itself, we didn't get that much new info. We did get a lot of, screenshots and gameplay of stuff, so that was nice. But then we did get some info later with Nega Sableye and, other stuff, so I'm just super excited for the game, and pretty much any looking at it at all was great, so that's good for me. Number 2 is basically all of the Smash Brothers stuff, from the tournaments, which was a lot of fun, the both little trailers in the event, and then just showing the whole game off. It was all really good, so yeah, I'm super excited for that. And then number 1, I wonder if any of you can guess what number 1 is for me.
What's it called? No Man's Sky.
Yeah. I mean, it may seem kind of lame because it's like, it was just one trailer. It wasn't even that long, and we didn't really see anything of it besides that. But all of these other games, I was already interested in. So, I mean, Smash is Smash. It's going to be good. Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, yeah, of course. But it's like I already, and even the Batman stuff. It's like I've liked those games. So it's like I was into everything already. But then this is something I never heard of before, and that trailer was just amazing to look at. I researched it a bit, and apparently it is kind of in a way an MMO in the fact that you play online with other people, but the fact that it starts you on a separate planet and that like everyone is spread out so wide that you could literally play for hours and never see anybody. So it's really like totally different, and I don't know, I just think it has so much potential, and I don't even know. I just want this game to be amazing, and I really, really hope it is. So, hooray for that.
Cool. My overall impressions this year's E3, it wasn't bad, but I just don't feel like, since everything's coming out in 2015, it's not as exciting as it would be if most of the stuff was coming out this year. And my top 5 probably be number 5, Dragon Age Inquisition, mostly because they didn't show much, but they did show a little bit more of the gameplay, and it's looking pretty good so far. They're really trying to harp in that the scope of the game is pretty damn big, so I'm looking forward to that. Number 4, if I had to really choose, like, I feel pretty good about all these games, so putting them in order is kind of hard, but number 4 would be Mortal Kombat, since, again, they didn't show much, but they talked about how pretty it would be graphically, and I love Mortal Kombat, so I'm always going to be looking forward to that. Number 3, probably The Order 1886. I like what they're going with the series so far. Well, not series, the game. Looks really good. Looks fun. The setting is probably the thing I'm most excited for, since it hasn't really been done much. Number 2, Destiny. I recently started playing Borderlands on my Vita, so I've gotten into the whole shooter with loot and a little bit of RPG components in it, and I think having a game like that's also graphically amazing will be pretty great to have. Hope I can get into the beta for PS3 when it comes out, but I don't know what the criteria is to do that. Number 1, Smash, just because they showed some Greninja gameplay and a few of the other new characters and changes they've made to old characters. The customization is shaping up to be the best Smash game yet. I'm looking forward to October when I can finally get my hands on that.
Overall, if I had to grade them, I would say Microsoft gets a C. Not quite a C plus because they screwed us over with Conquer.
Oh, damn it, I forgot about that.
They lose points for that.
Oh, they do? Shit. Okay.
They should be glad it's not a whole letter grade. Sony, I would have to give a C plus or B minus in between there. Probably a B minus, because they didn't do too many mistakes that actually hurt me in the heart. At least I can not care about hardware stuff. I care about Conquer, man.
You're just salty about No Last Guardian.
That too.
Well, that too. Okay. Down a grade then. Nintendo, I would say a B or a B plus. Just because while they did show a bunch of amazing games, they could use a lot more amazing games too.
And then of course, like
I would actually, counting the Treehouse, I would probably give them an A minus, just because the Treehouse has done very well. I mean, everyone did demos, but Nintendo's game space problems and the amount of time they had to talk about everything, which was very small. They only talked about everything in 48 minutes or so during a direct. That was all solved by the Treehouse. Although I didn't much care for some of the streamers all the time. The gameplay footage was all really good, and it got me even more hype. The Xenoblade trailer, for example, it wasn't that great to get people hyped, but the gameplay definitely was. Just because it's where they confirmed classes, where they confirmed character customization, where they confirmed all of these mechanics that the Xenoblade fans will enjoy.
Yeah, that was kind of one problem I had with a lot of the conferences in general, was that it was mostly trailers and not gameplay. So that definitely solved that problem.
Yeah, my top 5. Number 5 on my list would probably be Hyrule Warriors. I have been a little hyped for this. This has complimented my hype, even though I would have liked it if they showed a few more characters, but they did show Midna, which is cool. I guess technically they showed Goron Captain if he ends up becoming playable, which that would be cool. Other than that, the gameplay looks really solid on that, and most of my good impressions of this game came from the Treehouse. Most of my best impressions of all of these things came from the Treehouse, really, just because the Treehouse was really well done. Next on my list would actually be Zelda Wii U, 2 Zelda games in a row, yeah. But this one, it really piques my interest. We didn't even really see much, but my god, does it pique my interest. On another article, it was actually revealed that the person we saw in that trailer might not actually be Link.
Oh yeah, and some people are thinking it's a female.
That really just piques my interest even more. Even though we barely saw anything about this game, it kind of draws you in. It breaks Zelda conventions.
It's the possibilities.
At least 3D Zelda conventions, at least.
Possibilities, man. Possibilities.
It's like NES Zelda, but larger and 3D, more colorful and better.
And pretty.
And Skyrim with Link. Or with not Link. Skyrim with
Link, question mark?
Zelda? Spoiler, it's Tingle. Saying. This is a prequel to Tingle's Rosy Ruby Land.
I was about to say that. I couldn't remember the name of it, though.
Anyways, number 3 on my list would be Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I mean, it's not number 3 on my list because of what they showed during the conference. I guess technically showing off Mega Sableye was part of the conference. It was like the Nintendo's Kids Conference or something. That was by far the most hype moment for me because Sableye is one of my favorite Pokemon, and now it gets a Mega. Even if it loses Prankster, I'll still probably find some use for it. Talk about that later. Besides that, most of it was just my initial hype for the game, since Gen 3 was my favorite gen, as you guys all know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's being remastered, and not only is it being remastered, but they're adding new Megas. That's all I really care about. That's all they needed to do was add new Megas, and now they've done it. It's Game of the Year next to Xenoblade, except not because it's not being released this year. So Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire get some space to move. Of course, it also has to compete with number 2 on my list, and that's Smash Bros. And that should be obvious, it's Smash Bros. While there are a few things I would have liked to see confirmed, and while I am a bit... They really only revealed 2 characters during the conference and 1 character during the roundtable. Yeah, and 2 of those characters were expected, and some of them are controversial.
All 3 of them in the week
are very divided in terms of their fans. Palutena is mostly liked, I think, except for those people who just want the Palutena fans to be wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and for those who don't like the Gematsu leak, I guess.
Yeah, well, I was about to say, also, technically, they basically confirmed Game & Watch is back, so there's that, I guess.
That too, but he's not a new character.
Yeah. But,
not what I'm talking about.
In terms of, the Gematsu leak, we have still Shulk, Chrom, and Chorus Men from Rhythm Heaven. And apparently, I want to mention that in Smash Run, they saw, like, an enemy from the Rhythm Heaven series. So... It's quite likely. Yeah. So it's very likely that leak is completely true.
It's more likely. I wouldn't say completely.
Yeah.
I'm really not too optimistic for Shulk, even though I'd like to see him in. But
and I'm sure
if it was true, I would be very glad of it. And I would be even more glad to see all of the rage online.
And also, there's more characters than just that was in the leak, because, for example, the leak did not say anything about Rosalina. So we know there's more than just what that leak was in. So,
and now that Smash Bros. 3DS has been delayed to October, I guess this is a secret plan to reveal more characters over this next coming.
It was really Sakurai making everything.
It was his plan all along. It's a conspiracy.
Of course,
man.
It always is.
the tournament for Smash Bros. Was done really well. Besides,
Jeff.
yeah, besides the announcer. But the free announcers that weren't Jeff, they did their job well.
Yeah, they were good enough.
The results up to the end were pretty surprising. Ken the King died pretty much in the first round.
Yeah.
And I really wish Hungry Box would have taken it all at the end. We need to see more Kirby's win.
Yes.
But it was still very good. It was good at bringing up the hype. I don't want to count my experiences with the Smash Fest, in my opinion, for this. But I won't talk about this now either. I doubt you people are curious about that. But in my opinion, this is in the number 2, just because number 1 is Xenoblade, but really Smash Bros. Did have the potential to at least share number 1 with it. It's just that the characters that were confirmed, they weren't in my hit list for characters I wanted confirmed for sure during E3.
So, for example, if Shulk was confirmed, then...
Yeah, then it would be in around the same area. But Xenoblade Chronicles, even though the E3 trailer itself was it did show some story elements. It showed just enough for none of it to make any sense. So that means they did their job.
Seriously.
But the Treehouse gameplay was more than enough for me to just attach to this game fully. And what they showed was pretty awesome to me, despite the fact that they didn't show Gears. And despite the fact that it kind of reeks of alpha build. The only real thing that I want to see confirmed now is online, because that would be amazing. I know a couple of people who are definitely getting this game, and I'm definitely going to beat them at it, one way or another. It revealed a lot while still leaving a lot to be wanted. Like, I want to see some mech action. I want to see some robot kung fu already.
Yeah,
and I want to see that online. So that's why it takes number 1 for me. But it really could have been Smash Bros. As well.
If I hadn't left to do coffee stuff while you were talking about Xenoblade, I would have said that it probably would have been better for them to show gameplay from later in game, so they had more skills and stuff to show off.
That was one thing we discussed beforehand.
Yeah.
The gameplay for some would look kind of boring because the starter characters really only had like 2 free skills. They didn't have that full palette in Xenoblade. You really want that full palette because it makes things super intense. That's why the end game of that is so amazing. Besides that, it was very good. So, yeah, it gets number 1 on my list.
All right, and then one last thing before we close out. What was the worst thing about E3 this year?
Conquer. Conquer being shot, basically.
Again.
In front of us. Again, yes. I mean, the only way they could salvage this if Project Spark came bundled with Conker's Bad Fur Day 2. Which would be amazing, and I would get it for PC. But I doubt they'll do that. I think they're just being dicks. Because Rare is just dicks nowadays. I mean, there was things that were disappointing about this E3. There were things that were just kind of, oh, why are you talking about this? But this was really something that was kind of a fuck you. The only other thing I would say is, like, the poke at Mother Free from the Robot Chicken thing, but that was done humorously enough. And, I mean, we're kind of mentally prepared for that at this point.
Yeah.
We're all really still hoping for Rare to just come back to Nintendo and start making Banjo Free and Conker's Bad Fur Day 2 and just relive the glory days. I don't think we're mentally prepared for the fact that they're dead yet.
Nope, we won't let them go.
Well, it wasn't like at the E3 show floor or anything, but the thing that I
know
I
what
wouldn't
you're talking about.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say I'm disappointed. I'm more
Type
upset.
0, right?
Yeah. So basically, one of the Square Enix's PR people posted on the PlayStation blog that Type 0 HD would be coming to the Vita exclusively. And then, like in the description, it had a picture of the game and how, after all the support from fans begging them to bring the game over, they're finally doing it. That not 20 minutes after that, they put up an update that said that it coming out on Vita was incorrect. It would be on PS4 and Xbox One.
To be clear,
And-
folks, he's not mad that it's not exclusive. He's mad that it's not on the Vita.
Yeah, like if it was on PS4, Xbox One, and Vita, I'd be perfectly fine with it. But like, they didn't even apologize for the incorrection in the comics. Like a ton of people were excited that this was finally happening because for years people have clamoring for them. Like they didn't even have to remake it; they just had to release the game in English. That was it. We just wanted to play it. But now, like, not all the people who wanted it were necessarily Vita fans, but a large amount of people said they wanted it on PSP or Vita so they could play it on their Vita either way.
Yeah, because you have to consider this was originally a PSP title. So
Yeah,
the
like-
people who played this before were people who had PSPs and people who played handhelds. People who
Yeah.
don't have a PS4.
And you gotta think about this, like, it's a PSP game. Why would you upscale that to consoles so monstrously stronger than that you would basically have to tear the game apart and remake it from the ground up just to make it
better
work?
look damn amazing on both of those consoles, but even so, you won't forgive it, right?
Right. Like even they didn't, like I said, they didn't apologize at all. Then and people say that, oh, you guys are whining. We have other games to play, but that's a pretty freaking big game to lose in a matter of minutes.
So yeah,
Yeah. I won't go on about that. So man, you can go ahead and go.
All right. Well, for me, I guess both of yours kind of hit personally. For me, I was just disappointed in Miyamoto's projects, like Giant
were
Robot
kinda
and Project Guard. I just don't think they're interesting, and like Giant Robot looks super clunky, and I mean, I guess that's the point, kind of, but it just doesn't look fun. And Project Guard just looks like a mini game. So
I mean, are these supposed to be full-fledged games?
yeah, I think so.
If that's the case, then bleh.
Yeah, and I mean, and then of course the fact they're like, oh yeah, we're making Star Fox, but we can't show you. So it's like, wow, okay, you show us this, but not Star Fox, and you even mentioned If he didn't mention Star Fox, it would have been better, because then there still would have been the hype, like, oh, was that really Star Fox? And that blurred TV screen, you know, all that kind of stuff. But the fact that he mentioned it, but then, oh yeah, this is a thing, but we're not showing it to you. It's like, wow, okay, come on. I don't know. I expected more from Miyamoto, but
The plot twist is it's not Star Fox at all.
it's a game based on Slippy. Ah!
It's just something completely different. It's like a Zelda game.
It's Metroid game. There we go. You pilot Samus's ship.
Metroid Strikers or whatever. I don't know.
Oh well, just to mention on that,
It's a Star Wars game. Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
some people would be happy with that. But no, there was
Yeah.
actually an interview with Miyamoto and someone else talking about Metroid at E3, and they said that they're definitely thinking about both new 3D and 2D Metroid games. So those are,
So that's good.
yeah,
I mean,
they're not dead
the
and
new
buried.
Metroid was not confirmed.
Yeah,
I
they're
guess that was another disappointing thing.
Yeah. So, I
But-
mean, of course, there's a bunch of stuff like we wish, you know, insert thing here was talked about, like, you know, Kingdom Hearts 3, Last Guardian, you know, Metroid, all Star Fox, all that kind of stuff. But overall, I think this E3 was pretty damn solid. So,
Yeah, and it feels like the IPs that people kind of want to get back, they're coming back, some of them, so it's
yeah.
good. At
Yep.
least some of them conquer.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for this E3 video and all our E3 videos. So, I guess we'll let you guys know what anything comes out next. Star and I are going to be going over Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff, what we think is going to be happening, and also tying it together with the rest of the series. So that'll
I'm
be up
going to be
next.
gone for this weekend, so
Yeah.
no
so,
videos from me, unfortunately.
So that'll be
but-
next from us, and then after that, we'll probably work on maybe Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire video, some other stuff later. But I don't know. We'll see you then, and see you guys later.
Perhaps when I come back, you'll see a Xenoblade video as well, so see ya.
It'll be Chomp by himself.
With somebody else, but that's a surprise guest.
It's a person that I called a dick in the previous episode, so feel
It might not be him, actually.
Oh,
It might not. But, anyways, chomp out.
see you, folks.
Goodbye.